For all our talk about the open nature of podcasting, our content remains closed off to far too many. But with planning, easy-to-use services, and commitment, you can better reach an eager audience. Hello and welcome to another Podcast Pontifications with me, Evo Terra. Perhaps I've been too subtle. Accessibility matters. The accessibility of your podcast to people who do not have the same sight that you might have or the same hearing levels that you might have is important. There's this misconception, I think, that many podcasters have, that accessibility is somehow an optional thing. It's not. There's another misconception that deaf people cannot listen to a podcast, so what's the point? Untrue. There's an entire spectrum, if you will, of hearing loss. Some mild, some moderate, some extreme. But every single one of those buckets along the spectrum have people in them who listen to podcasts. There's another misconception that blind people can't watch the videos of our podcast that we might put out there. Again, not true, because again, there's a spectrum, if you will, of the level of sightedness from some sight problems to all sight problems, and yet every single one of those people, every step along the way, can and do watch videos. But that only works if you and me, as podcasters, do our part. Because the people on these spectrums have tools and services or have found ways to consume content that normal-sighted and normal-hearing people can get to. But again, those tools and those shortcuts and those hacks only work if we, the podcasters, do our part. So, a few things you need to do to stop ignoring your podcast accessibility issues. Number one, the easy thing that every single one of you should start doing immediately is transcribing your podcast's episodes. I mean a full transcription, and I don't just mean a machine-generated or AI-generated transcriptions. Those are a good place to start, but they're not done. It needs to be corrected so that it reads nicely. I admit, I wasn't doing this for a while. I'm doing it now. And I'm telling you, it is worth it. Not because of some silly SEO reasons, but because it's the right thing to do. Start transcribing your podcast episodes, all of them. If you're publishing videos, like I publish a video version of me talking into the camera, you need, as I have done, to add subtitles to your video. Again, because it's the right thing to do. That transcript that I have been now putting out that's corrected, guess what? Very easily fits into the video as subtitles. You can do it too. If you are, you should check your website. Your podcast has a website. For accessibility problems, possibly check those problems. There are lots of free services out there which will let you, even if you have normal sight and normal hearing, you can check. You can use these tools to analyze and audit your website and see what needs to be corrected. Again, because it's the right thing to do. If you post images, which you probably post images on social media properties, yeah? Well, guess what? You need to add alt text to every one of those images that you're posting. Yes, I know it's a pain, but now they make it pretty simple. Most of the tools, not all of them, I understand some of the social media apps don't let you do this, but for those that do, when you see the plus alt button when you upload an image, click it. Take a few more seconds to type in some text that describes that image. Again, you do this because it's the right thing to do. Now, if you happen to be listening and you run a podcast hosting company, or you have a service that generates web pages for podcasters by using their RSS feed, you need to check and see if the services you're providing are fully accessible. And if they are not, you need to have a heart-to-heart conversation with yourself, especially if you're charging money for these services. That's on you. You need to do this. You don't really have an option any longer. You need to go through and make sure that the content you're generating and you're charging people to generate is fully accessible. Get it on your roadmap. Now, for me personally, a few things. One, for my company, I run a company called Simpler Media, and we make podcasts for businesses. Starting now, I am baking this in to all future clients. It is not going to be an optional line item. It's just going to be part of the service we provide. A transcription, a fully corrected transcription at a bare minimum, will be something we provide for every client going forward that we have. And I'm also going to go back to all of my current clients who were not using that service because we weren't providing that service, and I'm going to suggest they also implement full accessibility issues, including that transcript. And to help with that, we're going to provide a free audit. We'll probably be pretty expansive on what we need to do to help them get everything that they're doing fully optimized. We only help certain clients in certain aspects. Sometimes we do everything, sometimes a little bit, but we're going to audit everything and point out to them what they need to change. And yes, I'm also doing a self-audit. Right now, Podcast Pontifications is kind of meh, but there's a brand new design coming for the website that I'm super, super stoked about. And I'm going to make sure, as part of that, that it is as accessible as it can be for both people with hearing loss and people who are visually impaired. Yes. And other issues that might come up in the accessibility issue. Yep, we're going to do a full sweep of the whole thing because that's how important it is, because it's the right thing to do. I've already got transcripts on there. I've got subtitled videos. I'm really good, I think I'm really good, about posting alt tags on my social media posts. And you want to do this too. So where are you going to start? Chances are your podcasting circle, your podcasting bubble, if you will, there's someone inside of that bubble who probably has a head start, who's been thinking about this. So ask. Send a link to this episode if you like, and start the conversation with your peers in the podcasting space, and let's work together to stop ignoring our podcast's accessibility issues, shall we? Now, if you loved this content, this idea, if I said things that sparked you to go take action, please go take action. And then when you're done, go to buymeacoffee.com/evoterra and pass a virtual coffee my way. That's always nice. That's it. I shall be back tomorrow with yet another Podcast Pontifications. Cheers.